Alright, how's it going, everybody? And Merry Christmas. And if I don't see you before then, Happy New Year as well. Greg has done his annual update for Christmas. This one didn't have a whole lot that needed to be tested, so he went ahead and popped it out without testing. So we're going to have post-testing this time instead of pre-work. But I just wanted to give you guys an announcement that it was out, and everything's loaded up fine. We are going to go through the changelog real quick, because there is one thing at least that I definitely have a comment on. But we're going to be doing testing in like 2 different batches probably. There's a few things for Twilight, which I will do in one batch, and then there's, well, I'm not even sure if there's enough in the other one to, maybe we'll do them together. I don't know. You know how I do this stuff. I don't plan stuff. But Snowy Rocks, we now have Snowy Rocks. So you don't have that big patch of grass like this, but with a rock in the middle. Should work as sticks as well. Work with sticks as well. I have not found a stick. We're in a brand new world here, by the way. There also has been some changes where Greg has made some ores biome dependent or rock layer dependent. Let me see if I can find where it says it here. Sticks, rocks, and bushes now have snow layers. So I got to try to find a bush and a stick so we can see what it looks like. I don't see the thing for the ores, but he did add some. Trins is working on making me a list that I can actually read. Greg gave me a list, but he gave it to me from the code, which is just a mess for me trying to read it. So I asked Trins, and he said, yeah, I'll see if I can get something put together. So before we do the actual testing, I will have a list for you guys of what has changed with the ores. One thing from the list is that cassiterite should now be more common. I guess Greg felt cassiterite was a little too rare. By the way, if you didn't remember, Christmas tree, yay yay. Go out and get you one. I'm gonna go walk up this mountain and see what I can do to find me a stick or a bush in the snow. It'd be easier if I would have found a world with tundra, but we're just looking at mountains. It's easier. So the funny thing is we didn't do pre-testing, but this is the one that actually has a note in it for me to make sure that I do a certain thing, which is I need to try to kill a minotaur without going into the pin like what I normally do that I didn't do last time. Just cheesing through the bars. I have no idea what Greg changed there, but if you happen to do it, something might be different. I do not see any bushes or any sticks in this snow area, which makes sense because there isn't a lot of sticks in the mountains. There is a bush right there. There's snow under it, but there's not snow on it. Okay. Well, no, there isn't snow under it. Yeah, I don't know what's supposed to happen to the bushes, but there is snow under these sides. Maybe that's what he was intending. Because there shouldn't be snow under the middle. I figured there'd be like snow on top of it. But that would take some really weird rendering to have a partial. So maybe that's just it. These 4 right here. that are a little more sunk down. Yeah. Okay. Because that does look much more like this, so I think that's what he intended. Okay, so there's that, and then Greg had a comment about his Minecraft account supposedly, hopefully being finally deleted. I think we talked about that last time. He added Thaumcraft aspects to Twilight Forest entities. Like I said, there's a few Thaumcraft things in this, or Twilight Forest things in this one. Again, I think Greg has been playing around in the Twilight. So you can refill your wand by killing mobs in there. Also, Werebane works on Yetis now, so apparently Greg has decided that I'm related to Yetis somehow. So we'll have to, when we do the actual testing, go and kick a Yeti in the butt and use something that has Werebane on it. Probably going to end up being silver, because there's not a whole lot that I keep around that has Werebane on it for reasons. Let's see. This is what the other one is. There's going to be a second special thing about the Open Computers entry. Me and XAR are going to work on that on the server. And it's, Christmas time. He's not going to be around a lot, so we got to wait until after that. But Open Computers should work with GT6 sensors now through its adapter, which I will tell you XCR's feelings already is through adapters. Yuck. But we will go over that more when he has time. And because he knows a lot more about Open Computers than I do. Several animal mods have additional drops, so I'm guessing like if you play with Mo Creatures. I don't know any other animal adding mods. But basically the drops that you get from, yay, now I've got seeds, from cows and deer and all of that he did in the last update. He's now done things like that for other animals in like Mo Creatures and stuff. Swamp water should no longer have issues with the labyrinth. That's one of the Twilight mazes. That's one of the things we need to check out when we do the Twilight. This is the one I have an issue with. We're actually going to open the LAN and turn on cheats so I can show you guys this right now, because I have issues with this, because y'all know damn well I'm not into this whole fantasy tinkers crap. And I absolutely hate the fact that Greg did this. But if we go in here and we type in this little thing called Auto-smelt, you're going to see all of these materials here. So you've got, let's look at ingots. So all of the flame stuff has it now. Anything that has fire aspect 3 is now auto-smelt. So all of your steels with it have it. There's now a fire leaf, which is steel leaf with fiery blood or whatnot. There's your steel leaf with fiery blood, gives you fire leaf. Netherite ingots have it. Netherized diamond has it. And Octin from Between Lands has it. So that's what you have. The issue here is the fact that if I can do this, and I need a axe, and we'll just give ourselves one of these. No, that's a raw one. We don't want a raw one. Yes, this is the one time you get to see me cheat. I know you don't get to see it very often, but shut up. Now, question is, I don't remember if these actually need to have... I can't remember if they need to have a blaze rod. No, they don't. Okay, so fire aspect 3. This should still work like a normal axe, but when we do this, look what we get in our inventory. We get charcoal. So that's going to make a netherite or a netherized diamond or any of this stuff here. Now, these, granted, you probably wouldn't put it on an axe. But there are people that make netherite axes and netherized diamond axes, and they now have to deal with getting charcoal, which we're going to have a little lesson with Bear today. So, if you cook wood without oxygen, you get charcoal. If there's oxygen present, you get ash. Okay? So this should not give you charcoal. This should give you ash. You should get wood ashes for doing this, because it's not in a coke oven. There is oxygen present. Wood plus oxygen plus heat equals fire. Fire bad when wanting to make charcoal. You need it to smolder and not actually burn. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. And I really want to know if he went full on annoying with this or not. That's raw again. Hold on. Give me this one. And you know what? I'm too lazy to look for a stick. So I'm even going to cheat out a daggone stick today. But if this is auto-smelt, does that mean we... Oh, that's raw too. Look at you. I thought I grabbed one that wasn't. It's down... Oh, those are raws. Where's the non-raw ones? Up here. Okay. Fine. Okay, that one's not working. Do we need a blaze rod for that one? We do. Okay, so that's kind of weird. So those we need blaze rods for, but this one we don't. I thought that was a thing, but now I want to see... My goodness, look at how weird that shovel looks. I just want to see if we can make glass. Because, well, if we can not die... Don't die. No. If this is supposed to be auto-smelt, I should be able to cook this into terracotta. Does that cook into terracotta? It cooks into 4 bricks. Okay, that works. And this should give me glass. Okay, so there you go. You want to be goofy? You want to play Tinkers? Go play Tinkers. Sorry, but I hate it. All right. Hi. Can I help you? No. Bad creeper. Ooh, got that one just right. I thought he was going to kill me because I usually cannot avoid their bounds very well. Oh, I got that one too. Alright, so now that Bear's done ranting, pickaxes now have the same attack damage stats as the axe, but they give twice the invulnerability frames to the opponent. So, like with the double axes, these here give a double immunity frame. It takes an extra second tick, whatever, before you can hit them again. Axes are going to be, or pickaxes are going to be the same way. That's because of the armor change that Greg did in the last one, where pickaxes deal extra damage to armor. So you can actually use pickaxes as weapons now if you're going to be fighting a lot of armored things. That might actually be kind of good in the ow, that was dumb. In the stronghold in the Twilight, you got all of those goblin things that are in armor. Pickaxes would be really good against them to help take care of all of the armor those guys have. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, construction pickaxes. They have to be level 3, obviously. But you can pick up ender chests with them. They don't have to be silk touch. So before you had to have a silk touch pickaxe, but now if it's a construction pickaxe, it just has to be. I was worried about not being able to move quick enough. It just has to be level 3. So you can literally just make a red or black granite construction pickaxe and should be able to pick up an ender chest now. Let's give it a shot. We'll actually try it with granite. We need the non-raw version, and we want black because black is beautiful. And we need a ender chest. There's you an ender chest. And we make a pickaxe. Okay, so now we should be able to pick this up. Oh, I made the wrong pickaxe. That's not going to pick that up. I need a construction version. I completely messed that up because this is a regular pickaxe. Can I put in granite? No, I cannot put in granite and construction. Or at least I can't figure out how to do it. Black granite. Raw. Where is the construction one? There may not be a construction one because it's stone, actually. I just thought about that. I don't make construction pickaxes. I've never really cared. It's not really my thing. I don't need a special pickaxe. Yeah, that's making the raw version. That is not making Alright, so I guess you can't just use one of those, because those don't work. And we need a quality 3. You could do vanadium steel. Would probably be the easiest quality 3 to get a hold of, I'm thinking. Or cobalt. Cobalt will work too. Alright, let's just grab a cobalt one. Cobalt's pretty easy to get a hold of. A little bit of cobalt tight and a roaster, and you got you some cobalt. And boop, there it is. So there you go, it works. Alright, next on the list is GT6 compasses that point to coordinates will now jiggle when the needle gets close to where their target location is. And this one we can throw in here real quick because it's an easy one. So we need a GT compass. And for anybody that doesn't know, there's a bunch of different settings for these. Right now this one goes to, and he had to do Z, didn't he? To Z negative. Ugh. I'm not English. But it goes that way. But you can change it to, that's a regular compass. How do we change this thing? Sneak right click. There we go. So now this one will tell you, point in the direction that you look. So north is that way. And then that is east. That is south. That is west. This one's never going to jiggle. And then this one is the spawn. So you see how it's jiggling? That's because we are right near where I spawned. So world spawn is like right here. So it's doing a jiggle to let us know that we are really close. And if we run over this way, it should stop doing the jiggles. Yeah, it seems to be jiggling a lot less now. We'll go a little bit further and see if it actually stops completely. Yeah, there you go. Oh, no, it's still doing a little wobble from time to time. We'll just wander out here into nowhere and see when this thing actually stops doing a wiggle. It just says when you're close. It doesn't give an exact, within 1,000, within 100, within 64, I have no idea. Are you done? No more jiggle wiggles? No more jiggle wiggles. Okay. So it does stop and go back to not jiggle once you get that far. We can walk closer here and see if we can get it to start jiggle wiggling again. Though I didn't, Okay, now it's doing the jiggle wiggles. And we're at negative 65, negative 67. And I'm guessing that spawn is going to be like 0, 0 then, I'm guessing. Or no, that's not 0. I keep bring up F3, it's just easier. So we were at 67 for something. I think it was like 460. So we weren't at 0, 0. We were at some weird arbitrary number here. You guys can tell on the screen what that number was. I get confused when they move the... I'm used to them being in the other direction. Alright, so spawn is somewhere like right here. So 101 to 290, 300. So that's about how far it is. Y'all can do the math. I ain't your damn accountant. And then let's see what else we got here. We've got, that is towards the middle of the world, so that would send you to 0, 0. So that would be that direction. And I think that's the last one. That's your last death one. So if we needed to go back to get my stuff, that is where this one points. But don't log out if you're using that one. And this is points to Z negative. That crap. Okay, so what else do we got here? Bumbleberries now have a level tooltip, which is awesome. Or bumblebees, sorry. Oh, we can't find any of the bees in here. So that's something we'll check out when we do the other one. We go back to my normal world. But they'll now tell you what the level is, because apparently my idea of them having big eyes was not the top level. That was just because he put glasses on the top level once. But it worked. It told me what I needed to know. And along with that, advanced bumbleberries now only nerf to half instead of a quarter. So you aren't getting quite so screwed by auto collecting your honeycombs. Cassiterite we already talked about. Endstone and netherrack dust recipes. Got a little bit of a tweak. So netherrack, I need to get this off of here so I can actually use NEI correctly. So if you throw this into the shredder, you get netherrack dust. And now when you put that in the centrifuge, you get 80% stone dust, 2 tiny piles of sulfur dust, chance at 10, a 5% chance at redstone, tiny pile, a 5% tiny pile of coal, and a 1% tiny pile of gold. And you can also do the blocks, which will give you 9 times more. So that is definitely different from the old recipe, because I do believe this was still using like the GT4, well, GT2 through 5, I do believe it was. This recipe was the same. I normally didn't do it, so I can't tell you exactly what it was. But you definitely did not get stone dust out of it. I think you had like an almost guarantee for everything, didn't you? You could get a whole lot of stuff if you just shredded it up and dumped it in there. So this is definitely not an easy way of getting gold now. That's for sure. Because it kind of was before. Because I do believe it was sulfur, redstone, coal, and gold. And you put in like 16 dust, and you got like so much of each one of those, but I don't remember what it was. I'm sure somebody out there, if you want to be nice, you can put it in the comments what it was, but if you use the recipe, you'll know what it was. I never really used it. And wow, did this one change. So, endstone dust. You now get an 80% chance at sand. You get a 1% chance at tiny platinum. You get a 3% chance at a tiny tungsten trioxide. You get a 1% tiny pile of endium, which I have no idea what that even is. Apparently that's added by hardcore ender expansion. And then Shigalite? Is that like Shugnite? Is this thing going to start rapping? A 0.1% chance at that, which is apparently from Enderlicious. And then you also get CO2, hydrogen, deuterium, helium, helium-3, and nitrogen dioxide. So, if you're playing without hardcore ender expansion, where you only have the regular end island, and you're not playing with any of the mods that adds content from 1.9 and above, modern Minecraft stuff, this is going to be a very limited resource. But if you're playing with hardcore Ender expansion or one of the modern Minecraft add-ons that backports a lot of that stuff, you're actually going to be able to get a pretty decent amount of endstone doing that. And you also have other mods like all the people that like playing with frickin' Tinkers, where you can make endstone. That's going to be overpowered as shit if you play with Tinkers and you can just use ender pearls, molten ender pearls, to make endstone, and then, you know, get all of this stuff out of it. And I've never played with Netherlicious. I can't say that word. Or Enderlicious. Sorry, wrong one. So I don't know what this stuff is. Or what in the world you would do with it. And I don't think I've ever used endium either. So again, anybody that normally plays with that stuff, please leave it in the comments what in the world that's actually useful for. I don't know what it's useful for. It is Silk Touch, and it gives Infinity 3, so it's also Quality 3, so it's not a bad material. The durability looks like it sucks hard. Kind of looks like it would be about the level of Amber, I guess. Because it's only 256 durability, Quality 3, and Silk Touch, so it's not great for that. So let's take a look here. The pincers things that now work on mass storages and dust funnels we'll look at in the other stream. Sticks, rocks, and bushes, snow layers we've already looked at. The more biome dependent stuff we've already talked about. There's now a kilo sensor. So if you want a 1,000 bucketometer, you can now make one of those. Although the recipes for the other ones have now changed a bit, because that was the recipe for, I think, the regular one. So this is the regular bucketometer, which is now a gold pressure plate. And then there's also the Let's see, which ones did he say changed? Note that the pressure plates in the fluidometer, that's the other one. Now let's just put in meter, it'll be easier that way. So, item stack fluid. So that one now takes a stone pressure plate, where it was iron and gold for the fluid and the bucket. But this makes it easier to do tanks of fluids, where you have thousands of buckets. We always had to use a bucketometer because you had like 1,000 plus. Well, now you can just do, 1 or 2 for the kilo instead of, 1,000 plus. So that is a nice addition. We'll check those out when we do the testing stream. The right-clicking a GT6 chest with pincers to pull out the contents. That's basically for doing loot chests. We'll check that out in the live stream. Fireleaf, we've already somewhat looked at it, which is that leaf we looked at. Really nice addition is Holy Water, Fiery Blood, and Fiery Tears can now be used to bathe arrows. So you can put this into a bath. It doesn't show it here. Again, we'll check this out when we actually do it. But you can add enchantments to GT arrows and GT bullets this way, which is really nice. I've been complaining to Greg about Holy Water not being usable for like getting smite, because that was something we could do back in GT5, was we could fill glass arrows with Holy Water, and it was really nice for fighting the Wither. And I really hated the fact that that was missing, so I love that we can now bathe them in it. Same with the Fiery Blood and Fiery Tears to get some fire aspect, if you guys want fire aspect on your arrows. He finished the Twilight Forest guidebook. I've been meaning to read these guidebooks. If you guys really want to see me read these books, let me know. And I will try to get something set up where I sit and read these things. Maybe I can talk one of the women's into do it, so it's a little more coherent than I do it. Leave me a comment if you want to see one of the women's do it, or if you want to hear me do it in my horrible voice. Right now, my voice is worse because weather's changing again, and my sinuses are all gooped up. But he did finish the Twilight book, and it's retroactive, so if you have an old one, it's going to get the update to where it's going to have the finished stuff. And then the Builder's Wand will place glass and vanilla wood slabs around Thaumcraft aura nodes so you can jar up your nodes. Y'all can figure that out your damn self. I ain't putting Twilight in, or Thaumcraft in to try it, because you know how I feel about that stuff. And Glotuses now have material. So if you end up going through a GT fort and you get tons of these things, you can actually now turn them into a small pile of stone dust in a or glowstone dust in a shredder. That is glorious, because I have a chest full of these things and a swamp with even more in them if I really cared. I just want to be able to get the glowstone out of the ones that I have. I'm not going to be going out and catching any more or collecting any more. So this was supposed to be a nice, short and sweet Merry Christmas. Greg did a thing. It turned into 40 minutes of me rambling through a changelog, If you watch this far, thanks a bunch. I appreciate it. Hit the buttons and do the things. Y'all don't get to hear that very often because I hate doing it. But it's the end of the year. You guys can hear it once. And thanks to all the patrons and channel members for the support over the year. And thanks to all of you that, support us just by watching all the things. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time.